Just 5 years ago, it was hard to imagine socialists winning elections in America. It's the United States, the global heart of capitalism. For a long time, socialism was a dirty word. Republicans called everyone from Harry Truman to Bill Clinton a socialist. In a few short years, everything has changed. A lifelong Democratic socialist almost became the Democratic presidential nominee twice. Polls show socialism is soaring in popularity, and a huge number of young socialist people of color are getting elected to office. Socialists like Jamal Bowman in New York and Cori Bush in Missouri are defeating incumbent congresspeople. Black and brown working class socialists are winning seats in state legislatures and city councils. And the biggest name in the Democratic Party is a Latina socialist from the Bronx. If you're excited about creating a society that works for everyone, you might be inspired by socialist big victories in 2018 and 2020. And you might be wondering if you too can become a voice for your community. That's what I'm here to talk about. I teach math at a middle school in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. I'm an activist and a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. And in 2020, I became the first black gay man to be elected a state senator in New York. It wasn't easy. In the Democratic primary, I ran against a state assembly person who was endorsed by the incumbent. I was opposed by the local political machine, but in the end, we won with 58% of the vote. It took a lot of hard work, but we won. And I want to help you do the same thing. So here are some things to consider if you want to run for office as a socialist. First, know why you're running for office. Most people who run for office, either Democrat or Republican, run because they have a big ego or they want a career in politics, and it's easy to feel like they're the ones who belong in office. But socialists have a different approach. Socialism stresses community and solidarity. You can run for office to help people in your community, people you know, people you encounter every day at work or in the neighborhood. In my class, I had one girl who was tired all the time. And when I checked in, it was because she was up late because she had to sleep at her grandma's house. It was obvious she didn't have a secure place to sleep every night. How could she learn when she didn't have her basic needs met? Another student of mine was struggling and then one day just stopped showing up. A few days later, I got an email from his mom saying they had to move to Long Island because they were evicted. I ran for office because of experiences like these. I ran to help people like my students and their families. I knew what our system was doing to people and how it impacted the ability of my students to give their all in the classroom. That leads me to my second point. We need more working class socialists in office, but you don't have to start by running for office. I started out by campaigning for same-sex marriage in New York. I organized rallies for Black Lives Matter. I canvassed for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I worked on access to affordable housing with the Democratic Socialists of America. I wasn't new to these struggles. By the time I ran for office, I'd been fighting for years and I was part of a broader movement for justice. Movements are made up of activists and organizers, and the best campaigns are powered by people. You can do an incredible amount of good by working as a tenant organizer or contributing to unionization campaigns. Even though the media likes to focus on the big electoral victories, the real progress comes from thousands of small victories fought for by people you might never hear about. Over 1,000 people volunteered on my campaign for state senate, and they are the reason we won. If you do want to run for office, consider where you are most needed. There are a ton of really important positions in local or state politics that don't get as much attention as Senate or congressional races, but are incredibly influential. Judgeships, city or town council seats, state legislatures, school boards, positions at the county level. So much power is held in offices with elections that go uncontested. You'd be surprised how far you can go. Third, focus on the material issues that shape the lives of your constituents. Socialism is about material change, helping people in real, tangible ways with programs and policies that ensure everyone has access to free healthcare, decent housing, and a good education. Don't run on technocratic tweaks. Be ambitious. Campaign on systems that ensure people have what they need to survive and thrive. Talk about the issues you've experienced in your community. Is rent too expensive? Do nurses and doctors not have enough funding? Do local schools not have enough money? Socialism is also about power. Who has it and who doesn't? That's why socialist candidates need to run on structural solutions, finding ways to bring power back to ordinary people. Talk with people in your community every day about the problems they face and the future you want to build together. Your single biggest advantage is your community. And fourth, if you lose, don't be afraid to try again. In 2017, I ran for city council and came up short. It was tough. But a few years later, I tried again, running for state senate and won. So don't be discouraged if you don't win. In 2018, Cori Bush ran for Congress in St. Louis and lost to a 20-year incumbent. 2 years later, she came back and won. Socialists are winning elections because we're focused on creating a system that works for everyone, and because we recognize that the system today is designed to benefit only a small, wealthy minority. Socialists are winning because we're building power by working together, day after day. And people across the country are on board. No matter where you live, there are people all around you eager for change and seeking practical, tangible solutions to the injustices they face. So my last piece of advice is this: remember that you are not alone. If you're thinking about running for office as a socialist, look for other organizing groups in your area and online. Together, we can create a better society, one that works for all of us. I'm Jabari Brisport, New York State Senator for the Gravel Institute.